Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Happy birthday.
How did you know? Thank you so much for everyone being here. As we get started this morning, I remember that at our very first meeting like this, we had 14 and 15, and I can't help but notice we have 21 today. Thank you all for being here. For our first-time folks to this church-wide meeting, just to give a little background, one thing when we were starting that was very important to us was to be very transparent with what's going on in the church. It's our belief that when churches start hiding secrets and keeping some stuff behind closed doors, it creates tension, it creates misconceptions, and that was something we did not want to do. So we designed in our bylaws to have these church-wide meetings 2-3 times a year, and then every February and March we do a State of the Church address where we give a very detailed report. But this is the opportunity for folks to hear what's going on, to voice their concerns, have questions, and we'll do our best to answer those, or at least for our executive council gives us ways that we know that we need to focus on and the areas we need to address. Also, for first-time folks in this meeting, I want to introduce our executive council. We have Jennie Maness, who is our chairperson. Going down the list, we have Vange, who is our treasurer. Brian, who is our new trustee. Pat, who is our secretary. Nancy is not here, but she is a member at large, and I'm also the pastoral slot on the council. So that is our council. And we're going to have a little change to the agenda. I'm going to invite Brian up to discuss our trustee update on safety and concerns. At our last meeting, there was thoughts raised about ways we need to be safer in this changing world we live in and threats facing churches. Brian has done a lot of diligent work on that since he became trustee. So, yes, to leave early, so I want to invite him up now.
I wasn't planning to speak to that. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Okay, we now have an exit plan in case there's ever an emergency, and we need that. I know there is one posted down near the bathrooms that way, but we are not down that direction, so I got something from their offices. This fire escape routes in case there's ever an emergency, you have to get out of here. Whatever could happen, you never know. But this is going to be placed on the wall out there by the door that we all live in. And then just take a look at it and you'll see there's multiple exits other than just that door. I mean, all this slash area we keep things in over here has an exit door. And it'll always be unlocked during service anyway. So if we had to get out that way, we jump out windows, but we don't want to do that. But of course, we got the doors down here. So there's ways out. It's going to be posted. There's a phone number here for poison control, and also 911. Obviously, everybody knows that number in case we ever get emergency. So that's going to be posted soon in the office. We'll have that. The only other concern is there's been I think there's an issue that some of you may know, but it happened at one of the churches here in High Point. You may have heard about it on the news, where a gentleman was outside, and I won't go into details, but he had a lot of things he'd done, a lot of advantage with it recently on a Sunday morning, and he was just up to no good. He's a bad person. He is a bad person. But what we want to do with ours, we want to just be smart. We're very inviting, we're very loving. We want anybody and everybody to come to this church, and the door is always open. But hopefully soon, I don't know when we're going to implement this, but within like 15 minutes after the church service starts, or within that time, we're gonna put a sign up down there that said, you are very welcome to call. You'll have my number, and I think we're gonna have your number, Jennie, or, no, not yours, maybe Paul. But at least, they're gonna have somebody's phone number when they call if they need to get in, if they're locked out or whatever. I mean, some of us have keys if we're running late. Some people do run late, I get that. But within 15 minutes, like 12, 15 on, that door is gonna be locked. Can we get out? Sure. All you do is just turn it on and go out. It'll be locked, so people from the outside can't come in, or especially if somebody is in question, for sure. But we don't want to lock the doors to keep people out. But we're gonna need to be smart. That's all I'm saying. And I think it's a good start. And like I said, there will be a sign down there saying, you're welcome to come in, call this number. It's after 12:15. That's pretty much it. In a nutshell, I think, like I said, we just want to be inviting but be smart. I think everybody understood what we're talking about. So that's it. That's all I have.
And I'd like to thank Brian for jumping right in with his trustee duties.
One other thing I didn't mention, we do have a nice first aid kit that has like 200 items in it. Paul had put it outside and it fell off the wall, but we're going to get that put back up in case anybody has. You never know. You might cut your finger with that. Who knows what would happen?
Yeah.
Cut, straight. You might even have a bad headache. Not with them servants, but. Who knows? Anything happens, we'll have to understand.
When we fall asleep and fall out of the chair, we have to.
And who we fooling with, it might be because of the servants. Thank you so much, Brian. Yes.
Do we have access to AED?
Yes, but it is down there, and maybe I don't know what the cost is, or we can look into purchasing one for ourselves. Their church has one that is in their lobby, where they enter Faith Church. They have one in their lobby at their entrance. But we do not have one person. Should we look into it? That's a possibility.
And Faith was kind enough to reach out to us to let us know it is there if we ever have an emergency. So,
And that's in case of a heart attack?
yeah.
And we have a fireman that we got to
A few updates on the church. One, yesterday I was reminded about how unique and important the work that we're doing is as we're getting started. I was at a birthday party and there were some folks there who were from Greensboro, and we talked for about an hour. I'd never met them before. And towards the middle of the conversation, they brought up that they had been out of church and had been looking for a community, and they just couldn't find a community where they belonged. I said, well, what? Everyone defines that differently. They said, well, every church we go to seems to be so nationalistic and aligning themselves with government that we're just looking for them as a community, that we can do community work that is against that. And I said, well, I've got a story for you. But it's reminded there are people looking for this, that what we're doing. And we are, I believe, on the right track. And so if there's ever moments of discouragement, I have these little moments as well that is okay, there's people are wanting this. It's just getting the word out. So here are a few updates going on in the church. One, in September, we are doing our first annual retreat up to the mountains. There's some flyers here. This new flyer contains the final payment information that is due, which is $171. A deposit of $75 has already been made by everybody. That makes the total cost $246, and that includes housing, all the food except for the first meal, paying for our workshop directors, and so it covers quite a lot. If anyone else is interested, we have one room still available. So if anyone wasn't going to and now wants to, it is $246. We have one room. We have one room, it's a room with twin beds, but we do have a room available. Part of what we're going to do for those who are interested, our director, spiritual formation director, Lynn Caldwell, is leading us, and our topic is going to be on resilience. We thought that is particularly relevant for our community right now. And she found this book that she's going to draw some inspiration from. She's not using this as the guide, but thought it's a helpful tool. If anyone wanted to read this and help get in the spiritual and mental space for the retreat, I'm going to lead a weekly study on this book. I'm going to pass out a calendar. It will be on Zoom. We'll do Mondays on Zoom. It's going to be 45 minutes. I'm not going to take forever on this, but it'll be 7:30 to 8:15. Even if you're not going on the retreat and you'd like to be part of this, please get it and participate. The Sunday that after our retreat ends, we're going to have a retreat Sunday and have some sharing from it, to have some carry on some things. So I want everyone to feel involved and participated in this. So there'll be opportunities for that.
Not 7:30 in the morning.
7:30 p.m.
Okay.
7:30. If it was 7:30 in the morning, I would.
Paul,
Yes.
when is the remainder of the fee due?
That is a good question. I heard tomorrow. At least 2 weeks before we leave. That would be the goal, 2 weeks before we go. Are there any questions about the retreat? All right. Our next piece of information is our film details for our annual series that became a love part of our community, our Summer Faith and Film series, where we watch some films, pair it with some scriptures, and the goal is to find themes of the gospel present in everyday life through examining these movies. And so for those who have not been a part of it, we'll watch a movie and then we'll get together sometime the week after and discuss what we saw. We'll have some questions. I always pass out, when we're watching the movie, this form that helps you take notes to help with conversation. And so I'm going to pass these out before we leave. Our first movie is on Tuesday. And it will be a little different this year. We're going to the Carolina Theater. And we'll watch Indiana Jones and the Lost Ark, and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. So that starts at 7 o'clock at the Carolina Theater. Tickets, I believe, are $7, but they have a special pass right now where you can buy 5 movie tickets for $36 and do it in a bundle. And you can buy 10 as well at an even greater discount. So there are some, I think it comes up to $5 or $5.50 a ticket or something. And they also serve popcorn, beer, and wine there. So come on. We'll start our conversations on Sundays at 10:30. From 10:30 to 11:30, we'll have some conversation and snacks in here and discuss the movie from the following week. Are there any questions about our...
At one point you said you were going to discuss the film in your Sunday school hour. Is that still?
Yes, so we'll be here Sundays. I do want to bring your attention, there is 1 week where we're not watching a movie, there's a break. We're following their summer film series, and there was 1 week I could just not make any connections. Good movies, but I couldn't make any great connections. So Sundays for the most part at 10:30. I also want to give an update on Nancy. I want to thank everyone for their involvement in taking Nancy Foods and surgery and long recovery. She is doing better and better all the time and doing well with physical therapy. Thanks for those who helped getting her to physical therapy as well. It looks like Nancy's going to be out an extra 2 weeks. The wonderful thing is our friends Emily and Andrew have been so wonderful in stepping in and helping with music. They did 2 extra times than I asked them for, including today. And so we still have a couple weeks of Nancy music videos. So starting next Sunday for 2 weeks, we'll have Nancy music videos to help lead us through worship, and then we'll be very excited to welcome Nancy back. So you're lucky that it hasn't turned into a cappella singing led by me. Are there any questions, any pastoral questions y'all have at this time that you'd like me to address?
I have something. I've got the list for Nancy for this week and next week. I did the 2 weeks, because next week we will not be here. We're leaving Sunday for Wilmington, and so I've got the 2-week list here. We've got 1 more meal slot, and we have 2 physical therapy slots for anybody who's able to do that. And Nancy is completely self-sufficient on getting ready. She's ready when you get there to pick her up. She's using a walker to get into the car, but she's able to get in the car easily. It's just transportation there to sit while she has her physical therapy and take her back home. So.
Thank you.
Paul, again, what are the dates for the retreat? September?
Yes, it is September 3rd to September 17th, and we'll leave the morning of Sunday, September 20th. On that Thursday, that's for folks who want to come a day early. There's nothing planned that day. That's why we're getting our own meals on that day. The retreat will officially start around lunchtime on Friday. So we wanted to be careful of those who needed to take off of work. We didn't want them to have to take 2 days. But the option is to come a day early and get some rest and explore around if they wanted to. We can check in at 4 o'clock. And as we get closer, I'll give a lot more detailed information. But there's still some flyers in there if anyone needs any, and it has a lot of that information on it. If there is nothing else, I'm going to invite Vange up to get the report that everyone's waiting for.
So I'll just speak from here. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
First, I want to give a thanks on behalf of the church to the church for your givings, your generous givings to our efforts here. I think we are, I'll start off saying I think we are financially sound today, and I think that's a fabulous spot to be in. So I gave you a worksheet, and I'll go over some pieces on that. At the very top, you'll see in yellow the date of June 30th. So our balance of our savings account is right under that, $5,836. Our balance in our checking account, $37,000, for a total of $43,000. So that's where our accounts stand as of June 30th. Okay. The next line we'll go over is that first one where we did an estimated monthly contributions. And you'll see the things that are in blue are our actuals. So that's all 6 months of data there. And then following that, our estimated budget. Okay. So we had a budget for our contributions of $66,000. Is everybody good with it? Seeing my numbers? So we've got our actuals plus our projection equals $69,000. So we're projecting a little better than what our budget is. So that's an average of about $6,000 a month so far. Any questions on contributions? I know that it looks like there's a little fluctuation with April, May, but some of it was just timing of when I actually made the deposits. Y'all know I'm not always real quick on that. Average, I think we're at about $6,000. All right, the next section we go into our non-payroll expenses. You see our first item is rent. It's $950 at the beginning, and then it went up to $990, and at the end will be at $998. Pretty steady.
That's monthly.
Monthly, yes. That's what we pay to Faith Press for 3 rooms. Outreach, just a little bit of money indicated for that in actuals. We have a budget of $400,000.
No, 4,000.
48.
Sorry.
You got my attention.
Just remember, I work with millions of dollars every day. When I see 400, I'm thinking 400K. Thanks, y'all step in anytime. The next line, the startup, these two costs in our actuals were all of our items that, our fans, our cups, our umbrellas, all those things. And some of those, people can purchase and they'll come back in. And we call that startup, I think, because, we knew when we started up that we would need some of this stuff. So we didn't really budget specifically this year for it, but we did have we have the funds available, and so this is where the cost came in this month. So that's the total, of about $3,200. So we don't see that reoccurring. We think we're pretty done with signs and paraphernalia, which I think are fabulous, by the way. Love the signs outside the door. So I just noticed those this morning. There's a little sign back there for people to scan the QR. So I think we got some great items. Insurance, we've paid that for the year. Worship supplies. Anybody have anything listed here they have any questions about? Just normal expenses. Give you a minute just to scan to see if you have any questions. Anything popping out questionable to you or of interest to you? Okay. So we'll go down to the payroll. We have 2 positions. You can see our actuals for the first 6 months. I will say the next months we did have, you want me to talk about this? The increase? Okay, so we do have an increase to Pastor Paul's salary. So we have included that amount in our future payments.
And how much is the increase?
$750. $750 a month. We hadn't got him to the poverty level yet. He's still below poverty. But I think it's something we agreed as a church we would look at each year. Last year we were able to give a little bit more. This year we're able to give a little more. We feel comfortable with where we are with our generous giving. Our expenses are minimal, so it was the right thing to do in my opinion. So.
I'll add a little bit to
Okay.
that when you finish.
Okay. So bottom line, you see, the very bottom line, you see just the difference between our contributions and our expenses. And then, so there you see the $3,506, $3,500. That's kind of the difference between our budget and expenses that at the end of the year we'll think will still come up good, about $3,200 to the good. With all of the contributions, all expenses, all payroll, we're still, that's a good, right little spot. Any questions? I'm looking at my accountant over there.
I say we give Vange a hand.
Yeah. Just to give you a little bit more background on the increase in Paul's salary. Lynn is our personnel chair, and she brought a proposal to executive council that would increase salary. We still don't have him where he ought to be, but we're trying to get there. So, we are increasing the salary $750 a month from, it was $1,500 and going up $750 a month. We voted on the executive council to do that, but we would really like for the community to say yes to that. So,
And I can step out if there's going to be a conversation about that.
do y'all feel like you need a conversation about this?
No.
Don't leave. I just would like for somebody to move that we increase the salary by $750 a month.
So moved.
Okay, Pat, you got it. And somebody second.
Second.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Who moved?
Who moved?
I think that Lloyd moved.
Yeah, okay.
All in favor?
Same time.
Aye. Any opposed?
And a bargain at that.
That's right. That is all. Thanks to y'all.
And so you all know, we've been basing some of the numbers on salary off of the United Methodist guidelines. That's what we know from our previous experience. And so that's, I think a good long-term goal for the church is to get to a half-time position that
We aren't there yet, but we're moving there.
we're definitely moving in that direction. And that also makes it easier that I won't be here forever, and that when the time comes way down the road for another pastor, I hope down the road, it'll be a lot easier to get a half-time person than a quarter in between a figure. Thank you. And thank all of you. I do love being here, so I thank you for making it a little bit easier for me to be here. A few missional opportunities, and I'll invite Jennie to chime in as she sees fit. Over the last few weeks, we have met with 2 potential community partners. I think, last year, our missions was going guns ablaze, and we were really knocking it out. Earlier this year, things were going well. There seemed to be, we partnered with a simple gesture, and that seemed, it was not the best fit for us, and it seemed to kind of take some of the energy away from mission. We're really looking for someone that we can get involved with and make a difference with. And we were such a small cog in the wheel of simple gesture, there was no way to really get involved. And so Jean and I discussed that, looking for community partners we can get involved in. So 2 weeks ago, we met with Recovery Cafe, which Frank Lees, who's a friend of the church from years past. And I'll have you explain Recovery Cafe if I can.
Frank was chaplain at Urban Ministries for years, and they do feeding and meals, and we participated in that. He has done, Recovery Cafe is a franchise or a nonprofit that's across the country, and we are the first in Greensboro to have Recovery Cafe in North Carolina. So he has put that together, worked several years to do that, and they are trying to assist folks in recovery, and they're providing support, community, 2 nights a week, Mondays and Thursdays, and they provide a meal for them. So it would be an opportunity for us to, as a church, to go and bring a meal for, how many people did he say? 40 or so on Monday or Thursday nights. Thursday is not as well attended as Monday. But we went and just looked at what they were doing, and they're creating community for folks in recovery, but also folks that are living on the margins. So it's not just recovery. And they do, it's not counseling, they do small group meetings and support meetings after the dinner. We were well received. They would be grateful for our help if we decide to partner with them, and they certainly have openings or times that we could provide a meal on Monday or Thursday nights. The church that they meet in is on the east side of Greensboro off of 29, so it's a ways, it's a ways from here. But certainly, they're like us, they're a new organization, so they need help.
When are we thinking of starting that?
Pardon?
When are we thinking of starting that?
We did not do any committing because we have another possibility.
Oh, okay.
So and I'm assuming that we don't do anything until we get through the retreat and fall would be my guess.
Our goal is to come give a report on possibilities.
Oh, okay.
And there's definitely a wonderful organization with very real needs, and people we trust who are doing it. The downsides is about 22 minutes away from the church. When asked, what are your needs? It's money and food. And so come and serve a meal. And the way it's structured, we could be involved in the organization. I think it would be more challenging to be involved with the people. Because they come and eat and they go into small groups for recovery counseling. So with that as an option, I got an email from Triad Health Project. We connected with them when we had our health fair a few months ago. And I asked, what is their biggest needs? And they said, we need food for a program we run called Upper Ground. And Upper Ground, they have a home on Bessemer Avenue towards downtown. And they help folks who are dealing and recovering from HIV, AIDS, and a few other things. About half of their clientele is homeless. And they have a home there that is open through the week. They provide meals through the week. It's a safe place they can be to get medicine, to get counseling. They have case managers to help fund housing. And so they've just renovated a new home. Bob Page from Replacements Limited funds the house. And just funded a big renovation for it. So there's a living room, there's a dining room, there's offices, a place where they can just be safe during the hours. They can't sleep there legally. But we went and toured the facility, Jennie, Ray, and I. And there's a lot of need there. What they're really needing is churches to bring meals.
And it's lunch.
Lunch.
They serve lunch Monday through Friday, or they're open Monday through Thursday, maybe Friday.
Yeah, and they do some of the meals, and then there's some meals that, like Monday, Tuesdays and Thursdays
or Thursday, or I think the main lunch meal. But it's feeding 20 or so folks, and churches bring in food, or groups bring in food, and can stay and eat and interact with the community, which that's what they like, but they've got churches that just come and drop off food as well. And then if we have resources, like if we want to do a program, an educational program, you know.
or come play games.
Yeah,
Or
there's opportunity for that.
So with Upper Ground, there's more opportunity for interaction?
they specifically mentioned wanting, they would love for churches to come and be involved.
Yeah.
They have some that just drop off food, but they really like the connection.
Yeah.
They mentioned.
And the house is open all day.
And where is it at?
On Bessemer. It's on Bessemer. It's just a block or two off of Elmsford, North Elm. So it's close to downtown.
Regardless what to choose or other choices, will we receive training what this facility is about, what we need to be aware of, what we need to do, how we need to communicate with everyone.
You know, we met with their community liaison director, and she did mention that she goes and talks to churches.
Oh,
So maybe we could get her to
yeah, yeah.
comment.
We just don't want to go in there and cold turkey and.
Yeah, she did offer to do that.
So it's not a question of there being worthy, good organizations out there. It's us finding the one that's a good fit for us where we think we can.
And what Paul and I seem to become aware of is the ones that are long-term, well-established, they've got lots of partners. Gutter Cafe is new, it's 2 years old, and they don't have enough partners yet. The Higher Ground Try to Help Project house, that's the community house for HIV patients. And actually, I'm not sure all of them have, like some may just be homeless. They've been in that house 25 years, but they don't have enough partners. Like it was clear they have a need.
Only 50% of their meals are being met.
Oh, yeah.
Only for the meals they serve, only 50% are being covered by community partners.
Yeah, so there is real need there. This is not a matter of us trying to find one slot that we can get in a 6-month period. This is.
Yeah.
We were talking about Upper Grove.
We're looking at pros and cons. I got the sense Recovery Cafe is more well organized
Yes.
than Upper Ground.
Even though they're new and they're just 2 years old, there's been so much work that's been put into that. And
I think we as a community want to do more than just go and serve meals, you know?
and there are opportunities. Both of them said if we had programs we could come do, just basic life skills programs that for us don't seem so critical, but living in a disadvantaged world, they are, and that both of them sort of put it out there that if we had things that we could offer, that they would be.
Bring the actors and actresses back.
He said, bring back the open hearts players.
So these folks that are there that need assistance, like for looking for jobs, stuff like that?
Yes,
It-
like
So
how to
it
do a
needs-
resume, how to dress for an
I was
interview,
gonna say,
those kinds of skills, just basic health things.
They do have a case manager, and they're about to get an additional case manager
They
to help with
have,
housing and jobs who are full-time.
they have a half a dozen or so case managers of Try to Help Project, and one of those is there all the time during their working hours.
Are we talking about just doing one organization or what?
I don't think we could do, yeah, I don't know how we have the energy to do. We're so small.
But we can go all in and online.
Is it 1 day a week? Is it 1 day a month? Is it?
They said that they have from people who bring quarterly to people who bring once a month at the moment. The bringing quarterly is a coveted one that people are going after. So if we could do at least monthly, that would.
I
Yes.
think the idea of inviting their director to come talk to us, I think that's a great idea.
And we can extend that invitation.
Yeah.
Whatever we do, I would ask that we commit at least a year. That way they have stability of knowing someone's coming for a year. We don't have to revisit this every 2 months. And so, would y'all like me to invite Debbie
Galdo.
From Upper Ground to come speak with us?
I think it would be good to have Frank did come and talk about his group as well, to give us a good idea of
And he
what
would do
they're
that.
like. Yeah.
And Paul, I think that being able to feed 20 people is a lot more doable in our community than 40 people.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about, even if you say
That's a
once
lot
a
of
month,
food.
there's 20 people making sure we get a nutritious meal out there, and financially also, so.
And they said, they extended an invitation for us to bring enough for us to eat and even make them for one.
Oh, nice.
So that was
They
very
prefer
much
that.
encouraged.
They prefer that. But they have churches that just drop off food and then they serve it and clean up afterwards.
It would be nice to have both Frank and Debbie come, so that we hear from each group.
Right.
And we'll invite them both the same day and give each other a baseball bat.
The upper ground, people that's there are more local. And if they were looking for a church, we would be a safe space for
Well,
them.
Yeah.
And it's during the day as opposed to an evening meal.
Yeah.
That makes a big difference.
Just for those people that get up in the morning.
So we'll invite both to come and speak and see when they can fit in their calendar. And I want to give one more update on CACN, which is the Christians Against Christian Nationalism. Jennie and I met with their regional affiliate, not director, but whoever worked for them regionally. The Cooperative Baptist Church has put money towards Christians Against Christian Nationalism and are funding positions to help get it going. And so his position is funded by the Cooperative Baptist Church. And a lot of his time, because it's been helping Christians Against Christian Nationalism. We met with him to discuss several things. What is it? What are the needs? What's it look like on the ground around here? Their goal is to combat and spread public awareness against the spread of violent nationalism that is partnering with churches across America. Out of a belief that, you know, it's Christians' job to clean our own house when things are happening that shouldn't be. So they're making documentaries and other things. One of the needs they have is for they search for in areas kind of a partner church who helps do some of the organizing for them. And they do not have one in Greensboro. They have some churches that are individual members of the organization, but no one to help organize. So we met to get a sense of what that looks like, what the commitments are, and he has sent some information. We told them that we have a lot already scheduled through a retreat or through the Faith and Film series, but after that, we would start having some conversations and looking into that. And so after our Faith and Film's over, there'll be some more information coming out, and we'll have some more conversations as a community to see if it's something that we're interested in. If we are interested in, what are our commitments? And so that's the update on that. If you have anything else you would like to add.
And there's resource material he can give us and has already sent us some that we can use to sort of get all of us understanding what the need is. A lot of it is creating partnerships in the local area of other groups, nonprofits or churches that want to fight.
And College Park Baptist is a member. All Saints Episcopal is a member. And they're actually having a documentary next week about Christian nationalism. They're showing at a church that they've invited us to. I can get that information out.
I actually got a phone call.
Me too.
Yeah. I wonder if you would tie us back into our Open Hearts outreach calendar,
Yes.
just to remind us of what we had planned for the quarters and where we're at.
For our second quarter was Christians Against Christian Nationalism. It has taken much longer to organize and have the meetings anticipated, so we've kind of behind. This third quarter is LGBTQ issues. We've never exactly decided what we want to donate to or organize around. We at one time talked about donating to Guilford Green, which is an organization downtown. I believe at the $600 mark, they consider you a community partner and publicize you on their website and in their publications as a church partner. That's something we can look into. We've had a lot of healthy partnership with Carolina Aging Alliance, in large part thanks to Brian, Eric, and Jennie for their work and being part of the planning meetings and attending the events. I've been able to go to one or two, and it's great work. I've spoken to their director of what is a need they have. In August or September, they're having a senior prom. And so one of the best things we can do is help sponsor.
Second chance dance.
Second chance dance. Thank you.
I'm the DJ.
So they said one of the best things we can do is sponsor that. I've asked them a couple times, what is their budget looking like that they might need? Sponsor if we can do all of it or can only do a portion of it. I have not heard back.
And he hasn't told us in our planning meetings, but anything we can contribute, they will be happy.
So,
And it's a fun event.
oh yeah.
We have a lot of folks there last year.
So I think it's a terrific thing for us to help partner with it.
I've got the date at home. We just met Friday. And
It's the last weekend in August.
I thought it was the end of August.
So last weekend in August. So I'll email Steve and see if I can't get a number. But is that something you would be interested in helping sponsor?
Absolutely.
And participate in.
And participate in?
It's August 29th.
August 29th. Okay. Thank you.
And I will say that for that second quarter, you know, our action community, there were several people that participated in protests and such, so that kind of ties back into that quarter.
Yeah.
And then the last quarter is kind of around Christmas giving.
Yeah, it's around charity work, so Angel Tree again, there's some other partners as we see that fits that.
Do we ever look for a family that's really needs stuff that has children?
What we've done last year and some years before, Greensboro College kind of handles a big Angel Tree. And usually they have 8 to 15 extra families and people grab. In the last couple of years, we've grabbed the extras, and then they do a big meal. They do it through the Boys and Girls Club, Boys and Girls That Need Connections. And we get those, and they do a big meal for the kids and their sponsors, and then Santa Claus comes and delivers the gifts. So that's usually like December 12th, 14th in that area. So we've done that 2 or 3, did that 6 years or that 3 years we've done it?
And we also did the bags for those experiencing homelessness, we made the 100 bags.
Yes.
Of
We get-
what?
Bags that we handed out that had blankets and personal products and snacks in them, and we just handed them out to the people on the street, or we went downtown and handed them out.
Cool. And this past year, Brenda organizes that, and we did 100,
Did 100.
and got 95 of them passed out. So right at the mark. And we gave them out on New Year's.
New Year's Day.
That'll be
We
coming up.
made them the last week of December, and we gave them New Year's. If we decide we still want to do that, we'll probably get an earlier start. And get some collection boxes together and the item list together, so people can start writing in already. It'll be a lot easier than waiting for the last 2 or 3 weeks of the year when everybody's busy with the holiday season.
We could start it now if you want to.
We want to take I guess we can take a vote on whether we want to do that again this year.
We want to do the homeless bags again.
I thought that was a great thing.
That was a great thing.
And there's no one else really doing that for New Year's to
Right.
help.
And we all went out to eat afterwards, which was a great experience, and talked about our experience when we came up.
Faith was involved with that last year, we're gonna do that.
I'll invite, in fact, if we start early, we can see if they'll help donate items. Because we had about 10 people from Faith help with that process.
I think we got together and did the list, we were gonna get together and do the list, and do the list out, and get some boxes made, and work like that.
All right, we got that. So,
Good.
any other missional questions? And there's some rapid fire things before we depart.
So this, in the past, we had done crop walk and registration for that. So this year is opening up, and that's something we want to try to do. We didn't do one last year because we were still forming a church and everything.
Yeah, and that's in October.
October 4th.
Any interest in crop walk?
October 4th.
It's usually
Because
the
they
Sunday
changed the
afternoon.
name, I think.
Well, they kind of divided, in the past, it was a kind of conjunction with urban ministry, and they share like offices in the same building. And last year, it was a split between the two. And so like urban ministry did one like their own walk or something, apart from the church-wide service. So,
Well, we'll stick with crop walk.
yeah.
And,
But if it's interest, I can go ahead and look at it and get like registration packet and you know.
we can get 5 or 6 anyways.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, thank you, Lee. Now here's some rapid fire questions. First, since Brian's not here to ask, our trustees want to know if there's any.
Right? Oh, we do that.
Yeah, Lee. Was there interest in, if we organize a CPR class, or we went to take a class of CPR with a couple of people interested? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's enough to have it do. So we will get that organized. Second, we have ordered all this merchandise. Some of it is saved for visitors when they come. Wonderful bags have been prepared for our visitors. We have the flags out front. Part of the budget was to get a permanent metal sign to go by the road. People have been coming in saying, "Oh, I love the new permanent sign." It's a yard sign, but a large one, which got us thinking: do we need to buy a metal permanent sign? Well, I think there's a question on if we need to get one.
I'd say yes.
I don't think we need. I think we got it.
It'll be $750 to $800 because I have to be double-sided, and so that's about where we're looking at.
What's the left frequency of the sign we have out there?
We have 5 of them, and there's 2 out. Is it?
But it's flimsy.
But you take the chance when they know, when they do move, that they don't put it back up
Yeah,
where you can see it.
that's true.
Because Brian has been over here to blow the side over here, and he's had to put it back up.
Yeah.
If we did get the metal sign, what would be done with the signs that have their names?
We still have the one at the road.
Yeah.
That stays there all the time, right?
We ordered 5 of those, and we ordered them knowing that they're going to be damaged.
So the metal sign will be put where it needed to
Hopefully, on that, our contract with Faith says we're allowed a sign 3 foot by 4 foot that is permanent. It does not stipulate where it can be placed, and so we'd have to work with Faith.
And the planning for the city, because they have rules.
I know from the St. Timothy's trustees that putting any signage by a road is, even to change hours was a nightmare when there was no construction, so we would have to go through.
Personally, I don't think we need to spend any extra money. The signs we have are very noticeable.
We can postpone it for a while and just see how these do, because we're visible.
Would it be helpful to get a few questions answered on where we could put them, ask the city, get the guidelines? Would that help frame it better? So we'll get some answers. And then maybe the next meeting we can revisit with all the full detail. The signs are designed, it's just a matter of
Oh, metal sign, is there, I can't remember what you said, is there a framework around that?
it would be putting in posts and drilling into the posts, there's drill holes in them. All right, our umbrella sales. We have a wonderful umbrella selling for $20 each. We decided that the proceeds from those umbrellas would go to charity. The umbrellas cost about $11.95 to order. So we have not designated what charity we want the proceeds, the $8.05 or $7.05 per umbrella to go to. Do we have any strong feelings on where we want it?
I recommend the second chance dance.
To help fund whatever we get?
I know we're already making a contribution, but
Good idea. Since we're already making a contribution,
we have our DJ.
we'll just add to the contribution.
Does that sound good to everybody?
Now, that's happening in 1 month, month and a half. So if we sell umbrellas after that, then we'll have to talk about where does that go, but umbrella sales.
Could we give an advance, since we know what the amount of the umbrellas will be given in advance, and
Yeah.
we'll skip, yes, Jennie?
What about the coffee cups? Are they available for sale?
Yes, there's about 25 of those for sale. We've saved the other half for visitors to put stuff in. Those are $5. Those are $5 is the cost of what it was to order.
Great.
So if anyone wants to buy a coffee mug, $5, and let me know. Thank you for pitching that. We'll skip new membership for now. And new chairs. Just to give a little update, when we first started the church, the chairs we have were graciously donated. These chairs in here were graciously stolen from my home church that closed to help get us started. And part of the understanding with those from the church and the donators were those were going to be temporary as we got some permanent, comfortable chairs, and then those would eventually come in here and replace here. So we've been a year and a half and going about, and we're needing to revisit that. And so I think there's going to be, in the upcoming weeks, definitely by the next group meeting, we have some information on cost of chairs, different varieties. And there's money in our account that I think was given for new chairs as well as the start of an amount, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll start having that conversation when some information gets provided for us to look into.
Is there already a budget for sale?
No, that information's coming. So we'll discuss that together. Any questions, comments, or concerns that the community would like to raise?
I'm proud of what we've done so far.
Yes.
Me too. For a small group and such a new group, we've really blown it out the door.
I just want to comment, talking about outreach and helping others and stuff. Everything is important. We've been out and ate, this past week, and it was there's a Mexican restaurant, we was getting ready to leave, asked for our ticket, waitress came up, said, "It's paid for." I said, "What?" Gentleman over there paid it, but she had already got nothing left, she didn't know it. And I guess maybe he felt sorry for me, looked like I needed to. Boy, that's the first time it's ever happened to me. I've done it for others, but first time for me, it really moved me, but it really makes a difference anything you do.
Yeah. Little things and big things. Anything?
A holy moment.
Yes.
It was ironic after his message that we were in a Mexican restaurant with the free chips, and a man, I think from India, bought their food.
Oh, wow.
Someone we never known, a young man, that just a couple eye contacts, a couple smiles. It's the only interaction we had. It made the sermon more real to us, and we were experiencing that in a Mexican restaurant. Eating your food chips.
Well, anything else as we go to worship? Can I have a show of hands of people who claim to be at the movie night this week? I'm going to pass out, go ahead and pass out.
Can we skip the group like watching on?
Oh, yes, or anyone who plans to watch the movie. You can watch it at home as well. Yeah, it's on Amazon for $3.99, I believe. So, here's your note-taking guide for the movie. All right, I'll see you in 15 minutes.
Yeah.